We have like children running around the background. I got to figure out how to do like a little like I don't know something in the background where nobody can see.
You can go on. Hang on, I'm gonna can you see my screen right now? Probably not. I'm gonna share my screen. I don't know what'll happen when you see yourself. Can you see that?
Well, I see myself, but I don't see.
Do you see any of the stuff on the side here?
No, I see nothing on the side.
You just see a picture of yourself?
That's it.
Okay, hang on. Turn your video off once.
Dude.
If, if you hit the V key on your keyboard, that'll also do it.
The V key.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Okay, do you see the outline of my screen now without yourself in it? Or do you
I,
still just see yourself?
all I see on my side is just like your logo on the top right.
Okay, so let me open another window here. Let me try this. Restream. Because anyways, what you can do is you can actually on the graphics tab and in Restream, if you see you can scroll down and you can actually pick a background.
Oh, but I'd have to use like Google Chrome for that. Gotcha. Okay, no biggie. I mean, basically, people will see what we got behind me anyway. Hopefully, it's not a
Well,
distraction.
if you go in on the graphics tab, you can go into the graphics and you can actually pick a background. You see how I have a background? Can
I
you
saw
see
how you
me?
had one to begin with, yeah. But right
Let
now,
me,
I just see me like when I go into the settings, and like it shows like virtual background.
yeah.
It shows that my browser isn't supported. That I need to use like Google Chrome,
Okay, what are you using for a browser?
Firefox.
Oh yeah, so maybe you'll have to use Chrome.
Yeah.
Or you can use Edge too,
Oh, that's true.
if you have Edge on your computer. Because I actually uploaded this background, so I can actually change the background and I actually can switch it to this too. So this is my other background.
So how do I get rid of me? Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh, haha, I put you in the matrix now.
There you go. So we got
See,
two. And
okay, see, I'm sharing my screen. So this is just you and me. So this is what everybody should see now is just you and me.
there you go.
So this is kind of cool because what I can do, I should be able to put that background back on again now. There's that background, or I can do the M6 Networks background, but I'll play around with what I want to use here. I put my branding all over Restream, so I'm pretty proud of myself of how I did that,
Fist pump, fist pump.
right? That's a lot. That's kind of busy. I got the Ukraine background. We could do
Mhm.
that color. It's kind of a lot.
Right.
But yeah, you look pretty good back there. Like I said, if you click on you should see a graphics tab on the right-hand side of your screen. It should show up, and then you should be able to pick a background.
Yeah, I'd have to change what do you call it, the browser. It looks like.
Do you want to exit out and come back?
Uh, no, it's okay, man. I mean, unless you really want me to like void out all that background.
It's totally up to you, whatever you want to do.
But
But
just leave it.
there's a bunch of functions like I'm gonna try this one. I should be able to show videos in this too.
Thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. Thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day.
Did that show up for you?
Yeah, it did. What about showing like PDFs or like some kind of document?
Yep, so I already uploaded the document in, so I can blow the document in and then I gotta play around with this is why I wanted to have you on here because I wanted to play around with see I would like to be able to see our faces too on this while I have this up.
Um, hmm.
There we go.
There.
See now how I got it so I can see our faces and then we can actually talk and we can have this document going on.
There you go.
So this is kind of the format that I want to set it up with. And then, you know, I don't know what you think about this little PDF that I put together, but
Looks nice, bro.
I did all this with Canva, so I've been pretty proud of, it makes really nice presentations and they're pretty quick to make. Just kind of broke down what we talk about, so that way we can, have 4 little sections. There's my smiling mug. So yeah, I just kind of put this together so that would give us some visual aids as we're talking about all this fun stuff. It actually looks really good on the screen like this right now,
Yeah,
with the yellow and the blue. I like that.
It came out nice, man.
This thing turns out pretty good, I think. I don't know. I really like the product. The way that this presents and how it looks actually on the other side of the screen looks so good.
Are you getting excited?
Oh yeah, did you see how many people are signed up?
Yeah, that looked awesome, bro.
It's like 50.
I mean that's awesome, bro. Awesome. So that's a very beautiful start, and from there, man. I mean, just go with it.
I talked to the legendary Chris Hennessy, and I was asking him, I was like, so how many people do you usually get on your lives? And he's like, oh, maybe like 12, 14 people, something like that. And so, I mean, he's been doing it for 2 years. He's really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, if we end up with 50,
dude, like I said, I mean that's really really good to start off with. That is really good.
Yeah, the bar will be high at that point, but I spent a lot of time going through my LinkedIn. I don't like that border there. See, every once in a while, a border sneaks in. I guess it's not a big deal, but every once in a while, a weird border sneaks in on these slides, and then it presents a little weird. But I thought this looked cool too, kind of how all these pictures lined up.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of stock photos that I'm not going to lie to you. If you've watched any of my presentations, I've recycled the same images a few times, but they're just super convenient. And so I like how this looks. I can maximize it. I can maximize my face. What's up, world? I can maximize your face. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I can bounce back and forth. I can mute. I can chat with you. Hello. Can you see that?
Yep.
That's just for you and me. So that's kind of another nice thing. If there's some kind of a thing that you or I need to get a message to each other, or like if you think I'm going off track, you can be like, Travis, stop it.
Travis.
We are live on YouTube. Why, you got somebody that wants to watch it?
No, I was just curious if it was like on LinkedIn already. I was just
Not
curious.
LinkedIn. No, I'm not that brave. If anybody's out there in the world, we don't have any current viewers, but we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook right now.
So what is your YouTube channel again?
The Quarantine Cook. I can send you the link for it if you want me to. Where's my channel? Oh, I actually just saw my face. I'm on the YouTube homepage right now. I'm famous.
You're famous.
We're famous.
Oh wow! Watch out.
So do you have a list of questions yet, or are you just gonna wing it?
Well, no, I don't have a list of questions. Basically, I was thinking that we could just start off with like what you had there.
Yeah.
in regards to like I guess the list of questions is just like what other things like can you maybe we shouldn't go with what you can't do, but just how you overcame like that hurdle that was placed in front of you. How about that? So I can
Yeah.
ask questions that go along with that there.
Yeah, and I just that's kind of one of the things why I didn't when I do slides, I always kind of was taught a long time ago that less is more on a slide. So I didn't I didn't put a lot of information on the slide because it's kind of can then just be a backdrop where the content of the slide's not necessarily as important, or if I think of something, it kind of gives me a little bit of a point where I can be like, oh yeah, this is the thing I was going to mention at that particular point.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I didn't want to put like everything on there. This is kind of one thing that um I thought was kind of an interesting thing that's worth talking about, like being in a this is actually a college textbook. I don't know if you knew that or not, but
Mhm.
um I made it in a college textbook, so I actually didn't know about this until after the book was published. And I reached out to the guy and I was like, hey, you wrote about me in your book. You really should have talked to me first.
That would have been nice.
Yeah. And he's like, well, we can't get a hold of everybody. And it was too hard to track everybody down and stuff. But I told him if he ever does another book, I want to be in the follow up, Shameful Behaviors too. So cross my fingers about that.
Oh, so maybe can I do stuff from my end here too?
Yeah, you probably can share stuff. That's why I was saying you probably want to get that browser
Oh,
now because there might be some things that you can click that you might not be able to click right now.
because it shows like I can do like extra camera presentations and like local video.
Yep, and you can probably, like I said, you can go in there in your settings. Click on that little, I know how to do your virtual background. Okay, you see the settings? Hit the S key on your keyboard.
Yeah, I see the video, audio, virtual backgrounds, and shortcuts.
Yep, on virtual backgrounds, that's where you got to go.
Yeah. So I'll get Google Chrome if anything.
Let me try. I want to change my virtual background. This is the one I wanted to go with and see how it worked, but every once in a while my kid sneaks in the background, you can see him.
Yeah.
This one looks weird though. I
Let,
like
let's
this
just
one.
say you come in with the cat. This is a cat. We might have something like that.
Right. I like this background though because this one I actually took this photo, so that's from my hometown. It's kind of a cool
I don't see
background.
it. I still see the different colors, the
You
blue.
should see our faces at the bottom,
I see our faces at the bottom. Yeah.
but you see
Oh,
the background behind me?
not barely. I mean, we're both small.
You must have small monitors.
Hmm.
Mine are like 32 inches, so you're like at least like 5, 6 inches tall.
Okay. You're kind of like half an inch.
Oh yeah. I turned my screens around. I don't know if you can see this. I'll show you my setup. I have to turn my virtual background off. Let's see. Turn that off. I gotta zoom all the way out because I still can't even pick up all my monitors. See my monitors?
Yeah.
And then
Got some
I think it,
LED back there. That's nice, man.
oh yeah, there's the kid. The kid's playing TV games on the TV right now. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I got my little 3 monitor array over here. I'm rocking. Maybe I'll move this over here. So yeah, and then that's my kid's desk behind me. He's got his own little office here. So he's got the same setup with 3 monitors
Okay.
and then the gaming chair.
I'm gonna try sharing the video real quick. Hold on.
Yep.
See if this works. I'm sure you can see here. Maybe not. Huh. Or maybe it has to load up or something like that.
It if you have a video, it's going to have to upload it first.
Okay.
It takes it a minute because it's got to upload it. So that's another good thing why it's, I guess good to, kind of go through a little bit of this beforehand, because I already had some stuff that I was able to upload now that I didn't have in there already. So that was definitely nice. And then, I don't know, I got a bunch of other stuff too I can share if I, decide that I want to, but I
Yeah.
just kind of kept a little um, folder of stuff that may or may not be relevant. And then, like I said, you can just kind of go through your computer, and you can, as long as it's not a video, pretty quickly get something onto the platform.
Okay. Very nice. Let me see if there's something I can do here.
I was trying to see if I got any more videos. I don't know why I don't have any more videos on my computer. Oh, yeah, I wasn't even looking for that. Videos.
So Travis, what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and write, at least a couple of the questions. That way, you know what's coming at you, and then, if you want to prepare something, feel free. But I like being able to just kind of like go with the flow.
Well,
So
Chris highly recommends that. And a lot of times at the beginning, I don't know how many of his lives you watch, but a lot of times at the beginning of his lives, it's real laid back and pretty easy going at first, and he's, talking, engaging with people in the comments. And that's something, if we start getting people in the comments, that is something that he will, you know, divert to the comments and, you know, actually,
I need the link to the YouTube, so maybe we could do a comment or something like that, so we could see it.
yeah, hang on, I can actually maybe do it right now from my side. So I'm on YouTube right now. Let's see. Yo, guys. We're famous.
All right, there it is.
Where'd it come up? I don't see it.
I see it over here on my thing on the right. So you're able to respond to it. I'm not, which is fine. But if anything, I'd be able to point it out to you.
Oh, I have a thing pulled up, that's why.
Oh, you know what? I think I could stream it to. Okay, so check this out. I'm gonna go ahead and start trying to stream it to my YouTube as well. There's gonna be like nobody on that, which is good. So we're gonna add that on. Done.
Cool, I saw the comment come back to YouTube too. This works really good. Chris has problems sometimes because people will spam the comment on YouTube, probably just because he's got so many people on this channel or whatever now. But in another, let's just talk about something else different about this, because since I have it on my screen. I don't know if I showed you this, but you should look at this. 7 days.
That's pretty good, man.
But look at this. This is even wilder.
Well,
Astro-freaking-nomical.
well.
Yeah, this day was 6,500. And now the averages have been just, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it just, and I know that focusing on this numbers is not really the right thing to do, but I mean, look at where my audience was in November. 100 people. And I was just happy to have 100. I was like, I got 100 people. Like, wow, that's awesome. I was just totally into that at that point. I was just into it. And then
So
all of a sudden,
how do you
go
get
ahead.
to that screen?
What was the question?
How do you get to the analytics screen that you're at right now? Do you have to have
If you, no, you can do this right on your page. Just go to impressions of your posts. It's right under your face right here.
okay.
And actually, LinkedIn just rolled out a new feature, which I actually love. It shows you your top performing posts right here. And this is awesome because this is what I'm always looking at. I always want to see, what my engagement is on these posts,
Hmm.
because I mean, my point is, like I say, if I'm writing this and 2,500 people are looking at it, that's motivating to me to continue on what I'm doing.
I like.
And
Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, like I said, if you look at, let's look at 365 days. I was really I was been really active on LinkedIn for a long time, but I took a huge break, pretty much at the beginning of the year. I was real low key for the most part of the year. I had a good post. I'd be real quiet, had a good post, be real quiet, just nothing happening. And then, I'd have a good one. I'd have a couple good ones, just, 100 here, like I said. And I was happy, just doing my little thing at 100. But you see the daily numbers are just, it's off the chart now, 120,000. I just hit 100,000 like 4 days ago. So I went from 100 to 120 in like 4 days.
So what happened most recently? What what content were you throwing out there?
Oh, it's just these posts that I started posting all the time. I started posting these videos. I started posting um, like this. Guess how many speakers are in my van? That got some good engagement. That was like 700, since yesterday. Sunday afternoon. I posted that. Got a lot of comments on it. This Mr. Beast one, look at that one. That one's 1,700. It's crazy. That one was a dinger. I mean, it was, and I always look at these, and my wife doesn't necessarily appreciate that, but look at the titles of the people that are looking at
That's
that.
what I like looking at, especially when it comes to like the videos, because like you see how long people have looked at your video and how much engagement you're really getting, you might say,
Yeah,
and that or how much reach I would say, so I think those
these,
are pretty cool.
look at these three companies right here.
Hmm.
These three companies, this is the one that our buddy Luke works at. So a bunch of people from his company saw it.
Yep.
Deloitte, that's like one of the biggest worldwide IT consulting companies in the world. I mean, they're big. I mean, the Best Buy, that goes without saying.
Hmm.
So, there's a lot of stalkers on LinkedIn, I guess, and, the more that, this post got a couple hundred, which is good, but let's see how many people are in it. 48, we're up to, um, okay, so it's actually 50 because it's those two plus 48 others. So we actually got 50 now. But I'll tell you more about that because that's why I actually got on LinkedIn to begin with, was to show you what I did. But um, this one got, um, I posted in some of these groups too. And this was an IT group, so that one got 2,500 in that group. The groups are definitely helping the metrics. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm getting a lot of engagement from that. Um, but yeah, I've been posting more frequently. I've been kind of shaking things up a little bit with what I'm actually writing. I've been using chatgpt to write most of my posts, if you haven't figured that out yet.
Hmm.
I just program it with an idea and I just let it go, and whatever it writes, I post on LinkedIn.
That thing is like so cool, man. I used it for like what do you call it? A document for like a deed in lieu document for like real estate,
Yeah.
and it was just like, wow, it's insane.
So yeah, you want to talk about insane? I'm gonna zoom this out so that you can see this list. I'm gonna I'm gonna death scroll for a little while, and if anybody, nobody's watching our live, it's a long live, so it probably would be good. But let's see, where did I start here? It was the 18th. Yeah, so look at how far down my messages are. I started messaging people by hand, send them a personal message, and I sent a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. This guy's the president of the Wisconsin Senate. Look at him. Senate president. She's in charge of the ALCU Wisconsin. I got a bunch of people that are in the reentry world. These guys all do reentry stuff. So I shared it with all them. You probably know some of these people. Big reentry guy. This guy's actually done by you, Lester Young. If you're not connected with him, you probably should connect with him. He's in South Carolina.
Okay.
I actually messaged one of these guys and they were like, hey, FYI, I have this reentry university thing that you guys might be interested in. So it's a whole program for people that are getting back in. This guy is the owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. So I sent him a message and I was like, hey, I don't even like basketball, but I went out and bought all this basketball stuff just because I love the Bucks so much and like all the stuff that you're doing for social justice and stuff. And I may or may not do it, but you can actually see on my chair here. I got my Bucks unit right here.
Uh-huh.
I got my Bucks hat. I got my Bucks flag. Look at this. I don't even like basketball. I hate basketball, literally. Now, that's what happens though. You know, they're actively involved in this mission. You know, the Milwaukee Bucks are putting money in and they're investing in organizations that my buddies are involved with. And so, you know, they are actually doing something to help.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So, you know, whether or not he'll come, this girl, she's in the media, she's in the local news. This girl's in the local news. Buddy of mine, a couple people that wrote some books. Just a lot of reentry people, a lot of people that are involved. This girl does peer recovery, so addiction recovery for people. See, she says she does recovery coaching for the justice system. This girl, she does Mississippi high recidivism, mass incarceration, reentry programs. So, yeah, it's awesome the number of people too that I got actually on here that I've kind of built a network with. Like I said, most people, I haven't done anything with these names to, you know, bring them all together to one spot before, but, you know, we'll see if they all come and then, you know, hopefully we put on a good show for them.
Awesome, dude.
This girl, she's a reentry coordinator for Goodwill in Arkansas. A lot of these people are involved. This guy, this is actually the lieutenant governor's outreach assistant. So I sent him a message. Who else is on here? This guy, he got a pardon from the governor. I'm trying to talk him into getting on the show. You know, yeah, it's just crazy. This, you know, she's the director of digital strategy for the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. So it's like Nancy Pelosi's digital assistant. I invited her.
Okay.
We'll see if she comes. But yeah, anyways, like I said, I just, you know, sent out a variety of invites. And so I think, you know, we have something good here. I hear this guy. He just, this Path to Redemption, what they do is they pay fees. So like a lot of times people will have to stay in jail because they might owe like $50 or $100 or some very insignificant amount of money that is actually keeping them locked up. And so his organization actually raises money, I guess, to help those people get out.
Nice.
Yep, I like the restream thing though. I like the platform here. It's pretty smooth how it all works. It doesn't really necessarily take much to do. So, anybody can pretty much figure out how to operate it. Cool picture. Yep, and then whenever I quit sharing, it always goes back to my default content. So,
So are you able to see my screen too now?
oh, yep. You want me to put that on there?
Sure. You know what? I need to get new batteries for my what do you call it? Keyboard.
Yeah. Did you do prompts yet?
Prompts.
Okay. Write this out, okay? Start writing. I want you to act as a prompt generator.
Okay. I want you to act as a prompt generator.
First, I'll give you a title like Act Like a Fifth Grader.
I guess I should have wrote 500 word instead.
Here, you want me to do it? I'll do it on my
Yeah,
screen.
go ahead, do it on yours. I'm curious.
I'm going to show you what you're missing about this. Okay, I guess this is the screen we're going to use. You're focused too much on the basics still. The key to this technology is really not the basic things that it can do, but more of the actual things that create what's called artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So watch what I'm going to write. I want you to act as a history textbook. That oversimplifies complex historical events.
Starting with the Moors.
Starting with the Moors, right? Okay, starting with the Moors for your readers. You should provide an easy to understand summary of the events in question without going into too much detail. Okay, and your responses should focus on the most important aspects of the event from a technical perspective. And feel free to use complex and difficult to understand language. I've now given it contradictory instructions. I've asked it to act like a fifth grader, but I'm about to do something that I just told it not to do. Don't provide any analysis. I don't even know how to spell. Don't provide any analysis. However, if I ask you to give me the cause of the American Sorry, this is really getting long-winded, but it's important that you understand this is where the real magic of this happens. Fuck, I'm so bad at spelling. American Revolution. Don't provide any faster to go American Revolution. You should provide some main factors without going into complex debate. The first example, I gotta learn how to spell I will give you is what were the causes of, let's say, the apartheid? I think I have a well-reasoned question here. I think I've got all the things, all the elements that I want. I'm giving it a multitude of things to think about. And I'm asking it to both analyze things in both a simple and a complex way at the same time. So it's got contradictory instructions on it. And it didn't even miss a beat. It started typing faster than I hit the word enter. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And it is unbelievable. And it's more like that. And I mean, I can manipulate that question a lot of different ways because I was playing with it one day and I was actually I actually was having it just give me one word things like what caused the Civil War. And I would say racism. And it would say racism and slavery because yada, yada, yada. And it would tell me about slavery. So, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, like the simple stuff it can do is great. But
Have you played around with coding yet?
a little, I mean, it's kind of basic what it can do as far as writing its actual code. But what I'm trying to do is get it to write code where it'll actually read back what it says to you in words. Because what I want this thing to do is I want it to take input from a text file. I want it to run it through this. I want it to create its output. I want it to dump that to a text file. And then I want it to take that text file and I want it to read it as human text. So that basically what I can do is I could generate, let's say, 100 book ideas. I could actually have it generate 100 book ideas for a book about people who really like to wear socks in the rain. I mean, what a ridiculous idea. How can it possibly do this? I don't know if I had this discussion with you, but when they first created artificial intelligence, everybody's like, oh, it's going to take the factory worker job. It might take some little professional level job. It might take this thing. No, it's coming for the creatives. The creatives are over. Did you see this guy? I thought this was pretty funny. And it is petty, but it is also funny. So, I guess you got to take it with a grain of salt because I did it as a joke, but the guy kind of, I think, might have got a little mad at me. He's got a writing class.
Travis,
So
why you gotta be shaking things up like that?
What's that?
I said, why you gotta be shaking things up like that?
Well, this is it. So he's got a writing class, okay? All right. Everybody's business is fine, okay? So here's his business. Are you ready for Christmas? He writes these long, drawn out. This is the old school method of writing on LinkedIn. Dump a bunch of text and make it really long. So he's like ready to make 100,000 as a writer, and I'm like, yeah, I am ready. I'm gonna bite the hook, okay? I took his thing, I wrote it better. You see what I wrote? Look how I wrote it. Look how elegant it's wrote. Look how well reasoned and well written it's wrote.
And that's
And
our open AI peoples here, right?
oh, of course it is. You know it is. Absolutely it is. So I posted on there, and I mean, like I said, obviously, look, it's better. It's definitely better. And I put that in there. And he says, not staying true to my voice. Appreciate you shooting your shot. Less is more, less is less. His job is done. This guy, his writing job, it's over. Nobody needs a writing job anymore. You know, ChatGPT can do that. And ChatGPT, I mean, it's all about, like I said, just think about how, did you know it could do what I just showed you could do?
In regards of like like summarizing stuff.
Well, I'm not just summarizing stuff, but you could take, here's another one, dude.
But well, put it this way, I like for my history with Chat GPT. I mean, I had to like generate some like hooks for like TikTok videos and stuff like that, you know, and what could I use as like a video, and so it would come up with like this is what's in the background and this is like what you can use and blah 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 blah, you know. Um, what I what I would like to do is something like use Chat GPT to generate the idea, generate the content, go over to like the other AI type stuff to generate the artwork. I still have yet to figure that out. And then basically just tie that into either like a children's book or a journal or something like that where, you know, you could use that as a digital download, you know?
You saw the book I made, didn't you?
The book? No.
Oh, I made a children's book too. I didn't show you my children's book I made.
No, I haven't seen it.
Man, I generate so much content around here. I can't even keep track. I've been posting YouTube videos like crazy. Here it is. Yep, here's my children's book. As you notice, I steal the same audio.
I don't hear it. I don't hear the audio.
You can't hear it?
No.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't hear the system.
Okay,
audio.
weird. Well, anyways, it's just playing that same song that I keep playing on every other video that I got. But there's audio playing.
Okay. Travis, I need to eat, man. I haven't had dinner yet.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm
What do you
hungry.
don't like are you saying you don't like my children's book illustrations?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a scapegoat, man. I'm hungry.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I'll show you the stinky cheese man. But yep, there's my children's book.
Nice.
All we gotta do is get it published now.
Amazon, what do you call it?
Amazon?
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, anyways, I did that with Chat GPT, and then I used some image generators to create this images for it. So it was pretty basic. But did you see what I did while we were talking? Explain the game of Dungeons and Dragons while explaining in a chapter format from a Game of Thrones perspective. I mean, let that sink into your mind and read what it wrote. It actually did a good job doing it.
I had to do like the summary of like Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it's just like, wow.
Okay, well, how about this? Compare the ideas in Rich Dad, Poor Dad with the book The Millionaire Next Door.
Oh, wait. And
What,
the 48 Laws of Power.
what was it?
And the 48 Laws of Power.
And the 48 Laws of Power. From a feminist perspective.
Lovely.
Because why not? It didn't even miss a beat and it started typing. it's got to say.
So it's saying it from each of those books with the feminist viewpoint. That's pretty neat, man.
But that's just the beginning, because you understand that this technology was not necessarily just designed. It wasn't designed for this. This is an anecdotal thing that it happens to do. This is an accident. It's not meant for this. It is meant to carry on conversations with people. So the real power of the technology isn't even being used. It's doing things it's not even supposed to be doing. So that's what's amazing about it is look what it just did. I mean, and and I mean, you could take each of these paragraphs and you could expand them out into an idea. So that's what I do with writing. You know, that's how I use this as a tool for my writing because, you know, let's say it's talking about the 48 law. I've never read this book, but it looks like it wants manipulation, deception, and exploitation. It's got emphasis on power dynamics. It could be seen as problematic. It promotes values and behaviors are not in line with feminist ideals of fairness, equality, and respect for others. It doesn't consider ways in which power dynamic and system oppression may impact individual ability to access and wield power. So it's got reasoned thought. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of a wild scenario. And I was feeding it I had it caption all my YouTube videos. And if you ever want to enjoy yourself and just really laugh, you have to go on my YouTube videos. And this is the funniest thing I think personally in my world is if you actually go into the videos and there's like one, I'm gonna sort by how many views I got because it's one of my biggest views. Okay, look at the read the captions of this. I mean, it's like a paragraph, it's like many paragraphs, but it's like some people may ask what this lie detector price is, or can you help me with local private investigators like the show Nathan for You? He was a private investigator running a private investigation agency offering private detective services and pretending to be detectives or some kind of crime detective or lie detector. We're not cheap private investigator near you. If you want a cheap private investigator, maybe a cyber detective or an online private investigator detective near you. Maybe we'd rather have a private investigator service or personal detective company you hired like the Pinkertons to save money on a detective. It says lots of rambling, wild words that make no sense. If you need a head detective, they work for the hospital. Sleuth detective, we can't find them. Female private investigator, they will be expensive. Spy detective, also expensive. Internal affairs, we prefer ours external mostly. Okay, this rambling, incoherent thing, this was actually not written by chatgpt. This was written by me, human me.
Okay.
And why did I write this and why does it make no sense? Well, what I did is I actually was looking for keywords, search engine optimization keywords.
Right.
And so I had it give me all of the top 50 search engine optimization words like Charlie Siringo. I don't even know who Charlie Siringo is. And Ken Brennan, but apparently they must be famous private investigators or something because their names came up. So, anyways, I just randomly added words into this to make sentences seem like they were, coherent, but all this funniness came out. So I just had ChatGPT write it better. I do write it betters all the time. It's really good at write it betters. And actually, did you see what I did to my resume? Oh my gosh. Um I know I'm really
The
wrapped
last
up.
thing, Travis, after this, I got to go.
Yeah, you can go anytime, just let me know.
Okay.
But read these. on my resume, I took all my bullet things that were on my resume and I plugged in that to Chat GPT and I had it rewrite it and look at the paragraphs I gave you. Isn't that wild?
So what did it look like before?
Let me find an old copy of my resume. It was just like bullet points, dude, like ugly bullet points, like stupid. I mean, here, you see this? That's what it was before. Just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Now you read it. As a network engineer, I specialize in engineering, networking, and technical solutions to provide best-in-class services for applications and system performance. I'm trained in ITIL practices, and I'm committed to staying up to date with the latest industry standards. I take a proactive approach to managing network systems using multi-factor authentication to ensure the best possible service. I mean, just read it. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
I mean, it's not a bullet list.
And
So
you know what kind of scares me is that they're going to take this away before we can use it to whatever. So like for me, I've been using it for like my power wash type stuff, you know, because it generates like quality content like that. And it's like, okay, I basically been throwing it into text files, you know, so I can, you know, save it for later before they take it away, you know.
it's
'Cause
they're
it's
gonna
like,
make us pay for it for sure.
yeah,
It's gonna be a monetized thing. So, but yeah, I've been there's I haven't found an end to what I can make it do for me. I've made it. I made business proposals, dude. Did I tell you that I lost my freaking mind? I started sending out business proposals that it's writing for me, and just sending them to clients, and I don't even care if they hire me because look at this. I sent this to brands, like a bunch of brands. No joke, just like this. I grabbed a screenshot from how many people I had in my LinkedIn, and this is out of date already. Look, I doubled that number since the last. I got a way prettier graph to put in here. Do you want to increase your reachability? Here's our basic package. Here's our intermediate. And here's our advanced. Call us for details. Sent it just like this. And I actually engaged with a client on this proposal this week.
how do you like that?
I traded them out my social media services for they're going to find me an employee.
They're going to find you what?
An employee. They're a recruiting company.
Okay.
So, just as an example, but that's what I had to do for me this week amongst things. So,
Travis, you looking forward to Wednesday?
what's that?
You looking forward to Wednesday?
Yes, I am. I am. If there's anything else that you need, let me know. But yeah, I'm excited for it. So I'm gonna keep pumping it up and keep telling everybody about it.
Awesome, bro. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, me too. For some reason, after I shared my YouTube video, I can barely hear you now. So I'll have to make sure I don't try doing that during our other live stream.
Okay.
So, but yeah, other than that, I think this went really good. You can go back and you can watch it and you can see it for yourself after we get done.
Sounds good.
All
Travis,
right.
thank you so much. Hope you have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Bye.